Isn't it strange that we only talk about peace during the Christmas season or in times of extreme conflict? Can peace be found in our lives as we support the autistic community? Join us as we talk about the importance of practicing peace. Hello, and welcome to this episode of the My Spectrum Life podcast. My name is Jessica, and I'm an autism mom. With me is my good friend, Kelsey. Hi, Kelsey.
Hello, Jess. I'm Kelsey. I am a SPED teacher with a master's in behavior, and I am super excited about tonight's topic.
Good, because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be super honest right now. I'm exhausted. Now, autism moms, caregivers out there, let me see if this sounds familiar. So this is kind of what led up to us deciding to talk about peace. Saturday morning, I get up, I'm thinking, yes, I get to go try this yoga class. I went to bed Friday night thinking that, and I wake up Saturday morning and my throat's all scratchy, and I'm like, oh no, I can't go. So I was like, okay, I don't want to, in this time, you don't want to mess with that kind of stuff.
Right.
It went away, drank some hot coffee. I thought, okay, everything's going to be okay. Went through the day. Everything's all right. Go to bed. It was just, it was an interesting, pretty even normal day, if there's such a thing as normal. Sunday morning, woke up, it was drug out of bed. To be honest, I drug myself out of bed. It was one of the Sundays that we were going to be able to meet in our small groups for Sunday school and stuff. So I got confused on the time. I'm like, okay, kids, we've got like 15 minutes to go. And so I give them, scribble a list for each of them, hand them a list, jump in the shower. I'm going, trying to get ready on time. Out in the other room, I hear the kids just screaming at each other. I'm like, oh my goodness. So I go out there, break up the fight because, one was trying to tell the other one what to do. And of course, it didn't help that I sprung, we got to get out of here on the, because we're late on Curtis. That never works.
Never works.
Never works, and I know this, but yeah, no. So we get going, we get in the car, we're late. People are like, I get a text, hey, you guys coming? Are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, we just had a mini meltdown. It's okay. We'll get there. Get to church. Everything's fine. Kind of calmed down. Derek had a really awesome podcast last night that was like 4 to midnight with Judecash Talk Network, and they raised a bunch of money for St. Jude, which was awesome. Except for that, it got over at 12 at midnight, and Curtis was still up at midnight. 1:30, he's still up. We said, Curtis, we have got to sleep. You go to your room and stay in your room. We need to sleep. We wake up. Oh, they raised over 9,000. Thank you. Anyway, which is awesome for St. Jude. But, it turns out he didn't sleep all night.
Wow.
And yeah, sleep problems are a normal issue, I guess. But yeah, he was from exhaustion and everything. He was thrown up this morning, and it was just not pretty.
No, it's not.
He rested up. He's better now, and he wants to go to sleep tonight, which I'm like, thank you, Lord. Please, we need sleep.
We need peace.
We need peace. This house needs a bunch of peace right now. But man, sometimes is it hard to find peace in the middle of that.
Right. So how did you find your peace? How did you, among that mist of stress, the mist of amplitude, I guess the best right word, like you're just amped. How'd you find your peace? Because it's not good on the body to go constantly like that. So how did you find your peace after all that?
Thankfully today I got to take a 30-minute nap. which is awesome. I find that, I thought that as a new mom, when I first had Curtis, could never get sleep. And I was thinking, I'll just nap when he does, and this will get over sometime in life. But as you can find with a lot of autistic people, sleep is an issue. It's hard.
It is hard.
And so, yeah, no, sleep has been a constant thing for us. And so, I'm hoping that we all get to sleep tonight. But that 30-minute nap actually rejuvenated me. I also find that for myself, me personally, I love hot showers or just soaking in a tub with some Epsom salts and some essential oils. Yeah, that's nice. I mean, the ultimate, my ritual used to be Epsom salt bath with a bowl of ice cream. That's heaven right there for me, because I can just chill. And if I can't do that, lately it's been, I'll just play Animal Crossing and zone out, It's that kind of a thing. What about you? I know that as a SPED teacher, sometimes it can be really hard to find peace when there's been a really bad day.
It is. There is, especially when you have the phone ringing and then you got, district testing and then you got the kid acting up and you are literally, what I say, you're playing whack-a-mole. But I think when I'm in the moment like that, compartmentalizing really, really helps.
Yeah.
And so I'll go into my own world to be like, okay, this first, this next, and start going off my checklist and not, I won't say going numb, but in a lot of ways I give it 100%, but I don't give 100% of my emotions.
Right.
And I just kind of have this saying that I say to myself, and I don't want to say it because it'll ruin it, but I have my own saying.
Yeah.
And I just repeat it in my head, and it just kind of calms me down in that moment so I can think clearly. But when I get home, my favorite things to do is find my favorite pair of broken-in sweatpants that you had for almost 10 years. You put those on, and I actually like to listen to music. I like to listen to music that matches my day that I had. So a lot of times if it was a real stressful day, I'll play like really hardcore, loud, fast music, and I just jam and get lost in that and sing some of my favorite songs. That's my favorite. And then of course having my chocolate. Gotta have chocolate.
Yeah, hot chocolate or a cup of coffee or a nice cup of tea.
Right. Exactly.
Depending on my mood. Exactly. I most often go for coffee, but late at night I found I've turned over to actually something that I started drinking in South Africa that I thought was awful. But then I wound up now, almost 20 years later, I can drink it and I love it.
I love that.
Rooibos tea.
It grows on you.
It does.
First couple of times I've tried it, I'm just like, whack. And now I'm just like, that actually sounds really good right about now.
Yeah. Well, I add, actually my husband's curing me. If you have a favorite thing that you do to help you find peace, to help you relax, it's finding peace, really. It's practicing peace, but we have different words for it, like downtime,
right?
Me time. I don't know, there's a lot of different things that we have. What are some of the things that you like to do that help you find that peace? Leave us a comment and let us know what that is for you. Because the more we share ideas like that, the more that we can help each other. Correct. And it's not just us that needs it. It's the kiddos that need it too.
Correct.
I have found that I'm starting to cue in, I guess, after our conversation this afternoon we were talking about the podcast. It just has kind of dawned on me about how much I might need to take some time and let my kids be apart. Because we homeschool and we're home all day, we're always together. Right. And so even though we're in the house, we could always, everybody needs something that's theirs, if that makes sense. And for our, right now, Curtis's outlet, his time of peace is playing video games.
Right.
I tend to think it's because he can control the environment a little bit more. And he's only got to focus like on one thing because he's just playing the game and listening to the words and inflection versus trying to think about what somebody's facial expression is, what their body language is, what they're saying, if he's too close, if he's too far, you know, so letting him
pretty much check out pretty much.
Yeah.
Right.
And sometimes they need their checkout time to do, you know, just be them.
Exactly. And that's why during my own classroom, because remember, you know, I teach self-contained, you know, we're in there 40 hours a week. They don't switch classes, maybe but a few. So we know each other very, very well. And we're cramped, you know, how public schools are. And I know that they earn it. They have to earn it because I can justify it that way. But we do movie once a month. And then every 2 weeks, we do what's called Tribe Thursdays. And they speak about each other, give compliments about one another. So we're not only promoting peace because it feels good to hear about those things, but it's also when we do our movie time, they know that they're allowed to have their devices if they want to. They spread out. It is literally the lights are off and they are, we don't even think about, we don't even think about education. We don't think about, we're not allowed to have any problems. And if they do, this is a perfect time what we do with walkabouts. We go out and go do walkabouts like, hey, what's bothering you? Let me be a counselor with you now. And like, but just having that with the downtime changes the dynamics and the environment within the classroom. We do it here. We have a routine here at the house where we come home. My husband say, hey, we greet. We tell each other about the day, but then an hour later, we're down. We are deflecting and, you know, winding down.
Yeah, that's what my husband calls it all. I got to do this to wind down. Okay, we'll do this. That's another one of those terms. And when you think about it, it's finding peace. And the thought occurred to me, if we can't find peace within ourselves and within our own homes, how can we make an impact on the community around us to find more peace, to promote peace, to practice that peace if we don't have the peace ourselves?
Right.
You know, if we're not, I don't know, it's like, okay, that makes sense.
Right. It's like, it goes back to the saying, if you don't take care of one, if you don't help yourself and take care of yourself, you can't help somebody else.
Yeah. And I know that I fail big time at that. Big time.
You're all good. We all have it.
You know, if you want to put your hand up and say, yes, I admit I fail at taking care of myself sometimes, go ahead and post and say, yes, that's me too. That's me too. 'Cause it's hard. It really is hard to find that time to do that and to make sure that we have a balance of finding the time to find peace. Salud. Amor.
Lo siento.
One more and you get dinero. It's a Spanish thing that I picked up when I was living in Guatemala. Sorry. But yeah, it's just, and especially in this Christmas season, you know, it's brought to our minds a little bit more about that. And that's one of those things we like, the joy and hope and everything that the season has. The season seems to bring every year, regardless. You know, I know it's cliche, but we need to have it all year round, right?
We do. We do have to have it. But also being able to find that peace within us, we have to let go of what happened the day before.
Yes.
Going back, I mean, I teach 6 through 12, so I have these kiddos for 10 years.
Wow.
And I have to let things go. I can't carry it to the next day. And teaching that to my kids, you should see them when I see them in the 6th grade, and then you go all the way to the 12th. But it's funny where they first start with me and they're like, I don't want to let go. And then talk like, just let it go. You have to let things go. Not the sense of not like letting go of the negativity that occurred that day or the stress that happened that day, and start fresh the next day. It kind of goes back to that saying, don't go to the bed mad. Yeah. It's not so much that you could still go to bed mad, but you resolve
Mhm.
things. You
Yeah.
resolve in yourself, and you resolve
Mhm.
whatever it may be that day. Even
Yeah.
if it's like, hey, I'm going to talk to you tomorrow, but let me just cool a little bit more down, a little bit more.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know.
Let me sleep on it.
Yeah,
Kind of a thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
No, and I think it's, that is important that as parents, we have to think of that too, because one of the things that we've got to remember is that just because they achieve a skill once doesn't mean that they're going to have it the next
Consistently.
day.
Right.
It's going to take a process for them to hit that skill, that level on a consistent basis. And so we have to remember that and give them the space to be able to achieve that. And then not, get angry because, well, yesterday you did that. That was yesterday.
That was yesterday. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And even the tools in our toolbox, that's why our toolbox that we have for all the things that we use to help our children out, help those around us out, has to be huge.
Right.
In reality, because you can't, one thing that you use one day or 10 minutes ago doesn't work now.
Nope.
So,
Constantly
yeah. Well, I hope that you've been able to realize maybe some things about how it might be a good idea to sit down and think a couple minutes about what it is you need to do to help you practice that peace and get a better hold on the day, the moment, so that you're not always drugged down and exhausted. Because, we have exhausting days or exhausting 2 or 3 days that just is meltdown after meltdown and crazy thing after crazy thing. But we can continue to get back up and keep going. So leave us a comment or send us an email and let us know what it is that you have found that helps you continue on and find the peace that helps you keep going each day, to be able to help your son, your daughter, whatever autistic person that you have in your life, or autistic people that you help support, like you, Kelsey, with teaching in a self-contained classroom. You can send any questions or information to us at info@myspectrumlife.com. You can find us at
Facebook and Instagram at myspectrumlife, and you can find us at Twitter at myspectrumlife with the number 1.
And I would thank you for joining us, and we hope that, and as you join us, make sure that if you're on YouTube, that you hit that subscribe button, the like button if you liked it and this was gave you some value and helped you out in some way. And go ahead and click on that notification bell so that you know when our videos go live this week. And we talk about how we individually find peace. I'm gonna pull on the strings of my family and see if they can't help me with this video. So that'll be fun. And my video comes out on Wednesday. And Kelsey, yours is Friday, correct?
Correct.
So you'll want to see Kelsey on Friday. And as always, with a lot of faith, love, sorry.
Faith, hope, love, and peace.
Peace and all them fidget toys. All that.
All of it.
We can make it.
We will make it.
Thanks.